to know how to apply for a Canadian student permit, all the documents you need to apply it, the step-by-step guidelines, and how you can achieve this on your own. Watch this video to the end. All the tips you need, all the information you need that can help you in achieving this is what I'm going to talk about in this video. So don't stop, just continue. Watch it to the end, and I promise you, you gain a lot of tips, information that you need to do this on your own. I mean, on your own. So watch this video to the end. Welcome back, guys. Like I said earlier, the documents you need, the step-by-step guidelines, and how you can achieve this on your own without an agent. Don't get me wrong, I'm not saying agents are not good. Of course they are, but you can as well do this on your own without having to pay any agents in achieving your plans or your dreams. So what are the things you need? I'm going to list everything, then I will talk about it one after the other. Yes. Without further ado, let's go straight to business. But first of all, before I move on, I want to let you know that I'm not an immigration officer, neither am I a lawyer, an immigration lawyer, but just a girl that has done some research, and I want to share this with you. I want to share these tips, this information with you. So please stay tuned and watch. And don't forget to like and to share this video. Subscribe also, that's very, very important, because you can always get any of my updated information whenever I upload my video. So without further ado, let's go straight to business. What are the documents you need? The number one thing you will need is an acceptance letter from a designated university or college in Canada. That's number one. And number two, you'll be needing police clearance from your hometown. Also, you will also need a medical clearance to a medical examination from your hometown. Then also you must be able to prove that you'll be coming back home as soon as you are through with your studies. That is, as soon as your study permit expires, you'll be coming straight home. You must be able to prove that you'll be able to do that. Then, proof of funds. Proof of funds, which is the combination of your living expenses and your school fees together. Maybe with some additional money too. Yes, that would be good. And lastly, a letter of explanation. A letter of explanation detailing your plans and how you plan to achieve it. Yes, so let's start from the beginning. Like I said, I'm going to break it down one after the other. Number one thing is an acceptance letter from a designated university or college in Canada. If you watched my last video, I did a detailed video on how you can apply. But for those of you that are subscribing for the first time, or that you're watching this video for the first time, yes, what did I say about this? The journey begins from when you apply to a college or a university in Canada. That is, you can go to IRCC, you will get designated universities there, and you can pick whichever you want, university or a college. Go to the website, check for international student requirements. That way you get all the information you need to apply, and that's going to be the least of your problem, because there are other documents that you will need. Once you get an acceptance letter from them, that letter is going to be one major document that you'll be using to apply. That is an acceptance letter from a designated university or college. Another thing that you'll be needing will now be a clearance letter from a police. When I mean a clearance letter from the police, I'm talking about the police clearance letter from your hometown. From your hometown, this you can get it from the headquarters, from this police headquarters in your state, depending on your country, depending on maybe it's a province, maybe it's a state. But here in Nigeria, you can get it in any headquarters or police headquarters, be it in your state or wherever you stay. The police headquarters, just go there and you request for a police clearance. The police clearance is important so that they will be able to know that you're not in any you're not a criminal, and you're not indulging any criminal acts. Nobody wants criminals to come to their country, so they want to clear that out. And this could be done, you could get this for a token of amount. I don't want to mention any price so that you don't judge me and you'll be like, oh, she said a particular amount, and by the time I got there, this was the amount I paid for it. So, things have changed and times have changed. I know that it's not too expensive. You can easily get this. And mind you, this is just going to be for a duration. The police clearance is valid for about 6 months, I guess. Yes, I think it's valid for about 6 months. Another thing you will need also is a medical examination. Medical examination is done in specific hospitals. RRCC have a list of hospitals that have been designated, authorized to do this. Not just any hospital, not just any clinic that you can walk in and say, oh, I want to do a clearance. No, it's not done that way. They have designated hospitals that they use to get this. I'll put the link for the hospital in the description box. So RRCC, go to RRCC and get the hospitals that are authorized to do this in your country. In Nigeria, I know there are about 5 places you can do it in Lagos and Abuja, but I'm more familiar with that of Lagos. There are 3 places on the island and 2 on the mainland. So it actually depends on the one that is closer to your location, the one that you feel is most comfortable for you. Is it to go to Abuja or to Lagos? Either ways, just go there, but you will have to book beforehand. That is, you can't just walk in, you have to book. They'll give you time and it also requires a fee too. You have to apply for it and you have to pay for it. The medical clearance is usually for 6 months, it's valid for 6 months, but I believe if what you want to study is lesser than 6 months, I don't think you'll be needing a medical clearance. But anything higher than that, yes, it is required that you get it. So you go straight, register for it, go online, get the hospital, register, book a date, they'll fix a date for you, and you pay for the clearance. Another thing you will have to know that you have to do, that you have to be sure of, is you will have to be sure to let them know that, give them the impression that you are coming back home as soon as your student permit expires. That is, that you know the rules and regulations guiding your permit. Of course, they want you to know that, and they want you to know that once your student permit expires, you have to come back home. Even though you and I know the reason why you are doing this, you and I know now, but notwithstanding, they still want you to come back home, and that is where tie comes in. That is where tie comes in. They want to know, what are you leaving behind? What will bring you back home? Is it your parents, your children, your wife, your husband? Is it a business investment that you've invested in your hometown? Or whatsoever that it could be. They also want to know that, they want to be sure that you're definitely coming back home. Even though you and I know that they want immigrants. Canadians want immigrants, they want people to come, they need immigrants to grow their economy, but notwithstanding, they don't want to just open a blanket door for everybody to come in, so they need to be careful also. Another thing that very important that you also need is the proof of fund. Proof of fund is very, very important. Of course, they want to know that you're able to pay the school fees and the duration that you'll be there, at least for 1 year, that you'll be able to cope and live on your own. That means your proof of fund is a combination of your school fees and your living expenses for 1 year. For instance, if your school fees is, I'm just saying, maybe 20,000 Canadian dollars for a year, I think the last time I checked, it was 10,000 Canadian dollars for living expenses. So by the time you calculate this together, that's about 30,000 Canadian dollars for your school fees and your living expenses. Then you can add a couple of Canadian dollars to it. Let's say 3,000 or 4,000 Canadian dollars to it. Yes, I believe with that, your proof of fund is settled. And there are also other ways at which you can show your proof of funds. For instance, your 4-month statement of account, which have this money in it. in their account, and not just maybe for the last 2 months or the last 3 months. They will definitely believe that maybe you just got borrow money from your friend and you just put it in your account and you don't even have enough money to sponsor yourself. So they want to know the duration at which this money has been in your account, if this money has been there. I usually advise 6 months, even though RICC states 4 months, but I usually advise 6 months, which is just to be on the safe side. I usually advise 6 months, let the money be in your account for 6 months, and it's not necessary that you are the one paying for your school fees and living expenses. If you have sponsor, that some of you that your sponsor could be your parent, your sponsor could be your aunt, then you could also sponsor yourself. So the statement of account of your sponsor will be what you will use to apply if you are using a sponsor. But if you are doing it on your own, if you are working and you want to sponsor yourself, or if your husband is going to be the one to sponsor you, the statement of account of your husband too will be what you use. Then there's another way that you can go about this too. If you have a Canadian account registered in your name with this very amount in it, why not? This is also good. You can as well use it. A Canadian account that is registered in your name and you have this money in it for the past 6 months, then it's okay for you. Then you can do that. Your sponsor's account and want to sponsor you, or your company wants to sponsor you, you need a company account, you need a letter from them. All these things matter. This could also help you in your study permit acceptance for you to be approved. Then another thing that is very, very important, very germane, that you must do is letter of explanation. Letter of explanation is more like an avenue for you to let the visa officer know what you have. And this letter of explanation must be detailed. It comprises your background, your family background, your academic background, your career background if you are working, your plans, the school you picked, why you picked the school, why you even picked Canada in the first place, your short-term plans, your long-term plans, your future plans, how you want to go about it, what you want to do, where you're getting your finances from, how you want to manage yourself. Do you know anything about the school? Do you have information regarding how you want to plan yourself and achieve your plans and so many other things? This letter of explanation is very, very important because on your letter of explanation you can as well attach so many documents in it. For instance, on your letter of explanation, once you explain your background, your school, the school you picked, the reason why you picked the school, you can as well attach the letter of acceptance, like I said earlier. You can attach your IELTS, you can attach if you have any documents that you think can further help you. For instance, if you are going with your family members, you need documents too. Maybe, for instance, you will need their passport page, which will be attached to this to let them know that yes, you have family. Even your documentation, this will be required. You have children, your children's passport. Even if they're not going with you, at least you have to document them down. Then this you apply on the website. You apply and you get all the documents you need. And this is also very, very important. Let them know that you have things, properties. If you do, you can as well attach this to your documents. If you have landed properties, if your parents have maybe a business they are doing, or even if you have a business of your own too, that you want them to know that yes, this business is even enough to bring you back. And in the first place, the reason why you are even studying is so that you can come back and use the wealth of experience and knowledge and training you've gotten for Canada to develop your own business or even the business of your parents. It depends on your explanation. It depends on how you have placed yourself or how you have arranged your document and what you have. For instance, a friend of mine that applied, these are part of the things that she added to her documents. In fact, she went as far as getting a letter of recommendation from where she works. She got a letter of explanation from them, a letter of a reference letter from them, which they gave her a letter which was given to her, and it was part of what she added to her document. She had landed properties, she added that to it, and so many other things that she did. IITS, she added that, and so many other things, just for them to be sure that yes, she's fully ready and capable to sponsor herself. And the money in her account was far above the school fees and the living expenses, the money for living expenses, which is 10,000 Canadian dollars that I mentioned earlier. So these are all the things you have to pack together and use to apply for your visa. And one thing very, very important that you must know is that your passport, please make sure you still have at least 2-3 years in your passport that will accommodate the level, the years of your approval. If you're going for a 1-year course, it's most likely that they had another 3 months to that. So that way, you need something that you need, your passport must be available, must be open for longer than that. If you are going for 2 years, it's also similar that it has a couple of months to it. So you have to make sure that you won't have problem of having just 1 year. Maybe you used about 4 years out of your passport and you're having just 1 year left. It won't be good for you. So it's best that you do this. Make sure you have enough years that will cover for the permits that you will be given, and every other document that you need, add it to it. And believe me, one of the major reasons why visas get refused, student permits get refused, is either because of lack of sufficient fund or no home tie. So while doing this, give them your home tie. Let them know you have something back home to fall back to, and don't give them an impression that you're just going there, you're not coming back. Please and please let them know you are coming back to your hometown. In fact, that the training you went to get there, the education you acquired there is what you want to use to develop your own country, your own business, to develop your own. You could even say you are going to use it to invest, to start a business of your own in your hometown, and so many other things that you could say. You could say if you are working, you can as well use it for promotion in your workplace. So just give them detailed information, let them know all this, and believe me, you won't have much problem. And there are so many documents that you will need to apply and attach to your online documents, to your online, when you are filling them online. There are so many things you have to attach to it. So please, I hope you've been able to gain 1 or 2 information from this video, and don't forget to subscribe, like and share this video. See ya next time. And before I forget, my next video is going to be on letter of explanation, so that you can have a better understanding of what it really means to explain yourself in details, because it's this document that will speak for you. There's no interview, and you will need something that will speak for you when you're not there. So in my next video, I'm going to do a video on letter of explanation. So see you guys next time. Bye.